Countess Elizabeth Bathory is one of the most infamous purported serial killers of all time. She had 4 known servants as accomplices. This is the story of the only surviving accomplice. My name is Katerina, and I was the servant girl of one of the most infamous women in recorded history, Countess Elizabeth Bathory. The things my eyes witnessed in the castle of Chejta would curdle the blood of most sane people. But I was forced to swallow these horrific scenes to save my own life. I was a silent witness. Countess Bathory was born into a noble family in 1560. She grew into a pretty child with porcelain skin and sable-coloured hair that flowed in a luxurious curtain down her back. She enjoyed a privileged childhood befitting her status. But her carefree life came to an abrupt end when she became pregnant by a peasant boy at 13. Noble blood was meant to flow pure, and defiling this blood was not allowed in that society. Her precious child was wrenched from her and placed with a local woman paid by the Bathory family, who whisked the child away to Wallachia. The same year that Elizabeth was forced to give up her child, she became engaged to Count Ferenc Nadasti, a member of the powerful Nadasti family. It was a political arrangement meant to solidify the family's hold on power. Two years later, the pair was married on May 8, 1575. At 15, Bathory was 5 years younger than Nadasti. The couple was married at the Palace of Varano, and with their union, their landholdings in both Transylvania and the Kingdom of Hungary were joined together. Elizabeth's husband, Ferenc, presented his beautiful bride with an amazing wedding gift, consisting of his household at the castle of Chejta, which had been given to him by his mother, and 17 neighbouring villages. In 1578, Ferenc's presence at the castle was sporadic. As a chief commander of his troops, war with the Ottomans took up much of his time and attention. Elizabeth was left as the primary ruler of their domain. She had incredible business acumen and impeccably managed their vast holdings. While Ferenc was occupied by war, he found time to carnally enjoy his wife and sired multiple children with her. They had 5 children, 2 boys and 3 girls, between 1585 and 1598. After 29 years of marriage, Ferenc Nadasti died of a prolonged illness on January 4, 1604, at 48. Before dying, Nadasti entrusted his heirs and widow to Georgi Thurzo. These are the facts as told to me by my own mother, Horvathova, who had worked in the castle until her death. Those were the days before my time, the days when only swirling winds carried whispers about the things taking place within the cold, dark walls of the castle of Chejta. Before the blood ran so far, so fast, that spilled secrets could no longer be held captive in dank dungeons. But then, I had my time. I walked the stone floors of the castle, listening to the screams of young women penetrate the halls like echoes of banshees. You see, the lesser gentry started sending their daughters to the castle, thinking they were improving their daughters' futures with the privilege of learning courtly etiquette. While these parents slept soundly at night, knowing that their children were safe behind the impressive walls of Castle Chejta, They had no idea of the torture that the flesh of their flesh endured. They would have never been able to close their eyes in peace again. But I was there and heard and saw it all. The whipping, the branding of innocent flesh. The Countess would starve the girls and mutilate and disfigure them. I will stop here as I don't want to offend your sensibilities. Just know it was horrifying. I had to be clever to stay clear of the Countess's ire. It was a game I was most proficient in. And thus, I still breathe to tell you this tale. Between 1602 and 1604, as the number of bodies grew, so did the rumours of Bathory's atrocities. In 1610, King Matthias II, the Holy Roman Emperor, assigned György Thurzo, the Palatine of Hungary, to investigate the claims. And that was when the clock started counting down for Countess Bathory. You see, no one cared when the Countess was murdering innocent servants and peasant girls like me, but when the lesser noble women started going missing, now that was a problem. On New Year's Eve, 1612, Thurzo went to Chete Castle and arrested Bathory along with 4 of her servants, who were accused of being her accomplices: Dorothea Semtes, Iliana Joe, a deformed boy we called Fico, and me, Katerina Benica. When Thurzo arrived at the castle unannounced, he found 1 dead girl and another living victim in the castle. It was said that the Countess was caught in the act of torturing a girl, but this was not true. When they came for us, she was having her dinner. They placed her under arrest, and only after she was detained did their search result in finding those poor, poor girls. I stood trial with the rest of Bathory's accomplices, Ilona Joe and Dorothea Semtes, who had their fingers ripped from their hands with red-hot pincers and were then burned alive. Because of his youth, Fico was given a quick death. He was beheaded, his body then thrown onto the bonfire beside the melting bodies of Ilona Joe and Dorothea Semtes. Ergi Mayorova had escaped and spent time on the run, but they eventually hunted her down. She too was burned alive. As for me, they showed some pity due to evidence proving that they had abused me too. Much like me, the Countess received a life sentence, although her environment was much nicer than mine. She was confined to the castle under house arrest while I shared my dank, cold cell with the rats. The Countess wrote her will in September 1610 and left immense wealth to her children. I have no children. I have no legacy, only these words that I pray you hear. I am told that on the evening of August 20th, 1614, Bathory complained to her bodyguard that her hands were cold, and he directed her to go lie down. She did, and never woke up. She was 54 years old when she died. She was buried in the church of Chete on November 25th, 1614. As for me, you will never find my grave. I hope you like this video. Please type "timeless" in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe if you would like to see more videos. Until next time, remember, many things are forgotten. Some things are just timeless.